Good morning. Thank you for joining us today on Becca's World. I'm your host, Blind Becca. Today we have a new person joining us. Tim Cuneo from Atlanta, Georgia is joining us. And Kimberly Parks is here with us again, as well as Leon Hosea and Joetta Lewis. How is everybody today?
I'm doing okay.
All right.
Doing good.
Tim, would you like to introduce yourself just a little bit, just maybe like 30, 60 seconds before we get started?
Yeah, I'm Tim. I'm 52 years old. I've got retinitis pigmentosus, and recently, within the past year, I got me a new guide dog, my first one, and it's been an adventure with her.
Okay, and we will be doing a VIP and a longer form interview video with Tim eventually. So if you would like to hear about Tim's journey, please subscribe to our channel and stay tuned. Guys, I think we'll just get started on the show today. Who would like to go first with their topic? Would anybody like to volunteer? Or I could go first with my topic.
You can go first.
Okay. So guys, I wanted to talk about this lockdown that we've all been going through, that some of us are starting to come out of, but that Joe Biden is talking about putting us back into. It reminds me of the guardianship that I was locked down under for 15 years in the state of Montana. And let me tell you, what's been going on these last few months feels just like it, because our ability to achieve and excel and, our ability to dream, and imagine what we want to achieve in our lives has been squelched for months now. And everybody's just suffering with this. But this is the same thing I dealt with for 15 years in Montana. But let me tell you what happened to me after I finally got rid of that guardianship and I was able to loose those bonds off of me. You know what? Once I got rid of that guardianship, it's been amazing what I've been able to accomplish, because once you get rid of all that stuff, as Americans, we have the amazing abilities to do amazing things in life. And I, for one, I've been able to do a lot of amazing things. And I don't want to talk about what I've been doing since I dissolved that guardianship, but I just want to tell you guys that once we're free of this virus and all these lockdowns are gone, and if we re-elect President Trump in a couple of months instead of Joe Biden, so that these lockdowns don't come back, we will continue to excel and create new things. And there'll be not only new vaccines for this virus, but cures for other diseases. And there'll be lots of new inventions, because that's what the United States has always done. We are, inventors and dreamers, and, we're the ones that we innovate. And if we make the mistake of electing Joe Biden in November, we're going to be locked down under a guardianship like I was locked down under for 15 years, and all of our abilities to create will be squelched. And I don't think we want to do that, because we are on an up. Things are getting better in the United States, and they have been for a few years now since President Trump took over. It's only this virus that the Chinese sent over here that has made things so bad, but we're coming out of it. And that's because the American people are so resilient, and the strong economy that President Trump built before this virus hit is so resilient too, and the economy is coming back. I am so excited for what's going to happen here in America, not only in the coming weeks, but the coming months and the coming years and decades, because if we can stay on this path of being creators and people, who don't put restraints on our ability to dream and our ability to say, how high can we shoot with what our plans are? We can make it far beyond the moon, you know what I mean? And I believe we can achieve anything in life. And that's just what I wanted to say. So I feel really strongly that we should not put Joe Biden in the White House, because we'll all be locked down under a guardianship similar to what I was locked down under for 15 years if we put that man in the White House.
It'll be more than that.
Okay. Who wants to
I can't imagine Joe Biden, what it would be like if he was president, because, I mean, the Democrats want to take over our lives as it is right now. And you can clearly see that right now. And Donald Trump built a great economy before COVID-19. Imagine what it's going to be like after COVID-19. I can trust me right now. When this is over with, we are going to boom overnight. Because people are ready to spend, people are ready to travel, people are ready now. I'm going to Minneapolis in a couple of weeks. I'm not slowing down. I'm going on with my life because COVID-19 doesn't scare me at all.
Good for you, Tim. I am too. I've been to Vegas a couple of times over the last few months. I'm going to Vegas here a couple of weeks again. And the only reason I haven't been any further is because I haven't had any call to go anywhere. I love to travel, and the virus certainly isn't going to stop me from traveling.
Absolutely. Can I speak? Can I go, Becca?
Sure, Leon.
First of all, Tim, God bless you in Minneapolis, man, because we know what's going on up there now.
He's in Atlanta, Leon.
No, I'm going to Minneapolis in a couple of weeks. I'll be visiting there.
Yeah, God bless you, man, because, I couldn't imagine. But like you were saying, Becca and Tim, thank God we live in red states. Our economy never really shut down back in March. It did, but it fully opened back up in May. And look how our economy has been doing here in Texas and Arizona, and I think in Georgia too. Am I right, Tim?
Georgia has spiked, but now we're coming down again. And Georgia has only lost $212 million because of our great governor here. Our budget shortfall is only $212 million. And they were talking about billions. But we have a great governor here who gets made fun of by the media because he has a Georgia accent. They think he's stupid because he has an accent. And that's racist on the media. Talk about CNN and all them right there.
You had a Communist News Network.
Oh, Tim, would you like to tell us more about your governor? What's his name? What other great things has he done?
Well, he's doing exactly what Donald Trump is doing. He doesn't mandate masks, but he's telling everybody when you're in a crowded area, wear a mask, be responsible, and, keep your hands clean. It's basically the same thing Donald Trump's saying. And he has gotten in a fight with the mayor down in Atlanta, who is a leftist, because she tried to tell everybody a mandate, and she tried to shut Atlanta down again about a month ago, and he put a stop to that because he says, I'm the governor, you're not. I'm in control. And you're not shutting down Atlanta's economy to try to worsen this, just like all the other states are doing right now. It's being done on purpose to hurt Donald Trump.
Well, and to hurt the American people in the process.
Well, on my behalf, to add to that, Tim, our leftist mayor here in Houston and our county commissioner are both leftists, and they've tried to give us $2,500 fines for not wearing a mask in public. Thank God we had a judge to step in and stop it. Hell, look at all the criminals that they let loose and committed more heinous crimes because of a virus. We was already nervous about these kids being free to roam around. Now we got to worry about these criminals. They got let loose and committed heinous crimes out here since they've done it. And not to mention what's going on in other cities, but here, like I say, we almost got robbed last week. Okay? Thank God for the Second Amendment.
You got that right.
If I ever catch that little punk, he's mine. I want him to come back. I really do.
But Joe Biden's already stated if he's elected, he's going to take away that gun you got.
I know. He can take it from my cold dead hands, though. But anyway, and to what you said, Buck, about the lockdown, I mean, I was so bored. I couldn't, I just couldn't imagine being on another lockdown. That is tyranny. You can't tell people to be locked in. This is not 1934 Germany.
What gets me is Donald Trump shut down the economy for 6 weeks, and the Democrats complained that he didn't do it. Then he does it. Then everybody loses a job, and now they're complaining about all the job loss. So it's a hell if you do and hell if you don't. And Donald Trump is getting screwed right now by the Democrats.
Yep.
Oh, you know what? God bless our president, Donald Trump. You know, he has so much money, he didn't even need this job. The only reason he took this job is because he loves America and he loves the American people and he wants to save us and save our economy and save the future of our children and the heritage of our children. That's
Kim,
what
you there?
President Donald Trump is doing. What did you say, Leon?
Was Kim here?
I am. I was going to say
sorry.
Donald Trump has never taken a paycheck either.
He donates his money to the get where the money is rebuilding tombstones and soldiers who have fallen in other wars. He's revitalizing those, and it's never told out there by the media what he does with his money because it's a good thing, and nothing about good Donald Trump that's good is reported.
Because the media doesn't want him to be good.
Yeah, it's my understanding also that he's also donated his entire salary, I don't know if it was his first year or his first entire term or what, to the VA. And the VA, you know, God bless our veterans, you know. I love our vets. And I love the fact that we have another Republican president in the White House who will take care of our vets like George W. Bush did, you know.
Mm-hmm. And Donald Trump was elected because he's not the status quo politician. Mm-hmm. He says it like it is.
But that's why he's hated so much.
Yes.
And look what he did last week with the peace deal between Israel and the United Arab Emirates. But he'll never get a Nobel Peace Prize for it, though.
Could you clarify what he did last week for our viewers who may not know, Leon?
He brokered a peace deal between Israel and the United Arab Emirates, which is basically Dubai. What's the other country out there? I can't really remember, but Dubai is the biggest one, I think.
Iran or Iraq, maybe?
No, not Iraq. This is I cannot think of
Iran.
No, not with Iran. I forgot. It's another big Israel and you gotta look up all the countries in the United Arab Emirates. It's more like a vacation spot, more than well, I would say it's more of a vacation spot for us, but they've been fighting for decades, you know. But he brokered a peace deal between them, and now it's, you know, we have CNN and ABC talking about, they're gonna go to war with Palestine because of this. Who cares what Palestine says? Okay, this man would never get a Nobel Peace Prize for brokering peace. Okay, some politicians got a Nobel Peace Prize before they even got in office, just for being a person of color. That's all I'm going to say. I'm not going to get you demonetized. Mm-mm.
No, I'm not even monetized, so they can't demonetize me. Thank you, though, Leon. Guys, so does anybody have anything good to say about Joe Biden?
Nope.
I think
he has dementia.
Yeah, you know, I'm worried about the care he's receiving. Who's watching out for his welfare?
Nobody. Well, his handlers.
But do his handlers really have his best?
No.
You know, his best, you know,
Heck, he's been in his basement this entire time. He hasn't been shut.
And he's going to remain in his basement.
I spent years in a basement myself, you guys. I kind of know what Joe Biden's going through.
Well, you're different. You can move outside. He hasn't been out. No one's seen him.
I know. I'm talking about years ago when I was locked down in Montana, dudes. You guys should read my first book.
I cannot wait till the debates. I cannot wait. It's gonna be a slaughter.
When is the first debate?
In September. The first debate's in September.
Okay.
Supposedly, they might postpone it.
What did you say, mate? Or what did you say, Kayla? Or Kim?
You were able to form your own opinion. Joe Biden is plagiarizing still to this day someone else's opinion.
He's stealing
his entire career.
He's stealing Donald Trump's ideas right now about COVID, how to fix COVID-19. Everything the other day he suggested, it's already been done by Donald J. Trump. Trump's already did it all.
Which is pretty funny since the Democrats have been slamming what President Trump has been doing.
And what about Richard Spencer sponsoring Joe Biden?
Who?
the head white supremacist, Richard
Oh,
Spencer.
yeah. I saw something like that.
He's on Joe Biden's side. So what does that tell you?
Mm-hmm. Well,
But
I decided a long time ago.
remember 2016, they were on Trump because Richard Spencer likes Trump. And Donald Trump denounced Richard Spencer and David Duke. Hell, he denounced David Duke 25 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
But you never notice it, though. And Richard Spencer is the one that organized Charlottesville in 2017 where that young lady got killed. But
So,
they
guys,
never mention it now.
Guys, listen, I'm so sure President Trump is going to win. But you know what I'm hearing? I'm hearing that civil war is going to break out here if President
It's
Trump.
already been started.
Yeah. So, guys, we got to think about how we're going to protect ourselves. Leon, I love you and your guns, Leon. I love what you've been showing on the videos the last few weeks.
Look what's going on in Wisconsin the last 3 nights. Last night, the citizens fought back. They started killing them. Thank God for that. Stand up, fight. I don't care what you... Hell, like I told you, if you can't get a gun, go get a paintball gun and load it with pepper balls. It'll burn their eyes. Trust me on that.
Yeah.
It's time for the silent majority to rise up and take over our country back.
Yeah.
I'm sick of these little Antifa punks, and they're already here in Austin, less than 200 miles from me and Joetta. They right next door to Joetta. I feel for her.
Mm-hmm.
But that's what I'm trying to tell you, Joetta. If you need help, let me know. I'll come up there.
Okay.
Please let me come up there. I'm ready to test something out.
They started rioting Atlanta last night again. So hopefully our governor shuts that down with the National Guard like he did before.
Yeah.
Tim, go get you a gun, man. I know George's.
I've got 2 guns in the house.
Thank God for you, man. God bless you, man. Hot damn. We got one on board. Let's do it some more. Kim, how about yourself? You need help getting a gun?
No, I don't need help.
I am so glad that we still have the right to bear arms here in America, at least right now.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
Is Joetta there?
I'm here. What's wrong? I'm just listening.
Oh, I thought don't you want to speak? Oh, I thought something was wrong, Joetta. I'm sorry.
See, when debates go on like this, I love to sit back and watch it fly. And then when it gets quiet, like right now,
And she's on a roll.
you got it. You
guys, I love our president. I love talking about it. We can talk about this the whole show, or if somebody else wants a different topic, go ahead and introduce it.
Did anybody watch the Republican convention last night?
I was going to ask that.
I'm sorry.
I actually really enjoyed listening to our First Lady.
Yes.
She was awesome. And it was I cried when I watched those new citizens of the United States get sworn in last night. It was amazing because they did it the legal way, not the illegal way.
I have many immigrants in my family that from many different parts of the world, and they've always done it the legal way.
Good for them, Kim.
Mm-hmm.
I thought it was all amazing.
And that gentleman that got pardoned last night from being he was a robber, and he got saved by Jesus Christ and changed his life. And now he goes to prisons and he helps the criminals in there work their way back into society. And he was pardoned last night by Donald Trump. And it was just amazing to watch that.
Oh, that was neat too. Yes.
Mm-hmm. And you have the left getting on Melania Trump because she planted some trees in a rose garden. I'm like, really? You getting on about that?
You want to know why they got mad about that? It's because she took out the crab trees that Mrs. Kennedy planted decades ago. And those crab trees were removed and put somewhere else to be planted somewhere else. And they were pissed. Oh, I'm sorry. They were mad because she took out history. But you know what? They don't care about our history in America. But when it comes to the White House, don't you dare change the history at the White House. And they've been slamming her for a week about this.
Yeah.
Well, I wish I could have seen that Melania speaking from the Rose Garden. It must have been so beautiful.
Oh, she was beautiful. The dress she had on and the lighting behind her, it was very nice.
Tim, I'm glad you can still see enough to see that well.
And
Well,
what I don't like
I
either,
listened to it I later, so it was really nice.
She is a great first lady, and she's very respectful, and you can tell she really cares about our children in this country, and she is fighting for our kids.
Mm-hmm. And you know, their son, what's his name? Their teenage son, I think they said he's 14.
I just slipped my mind what his name is.
I was
Starts
thinking
with
Byron.
Starts with Brian. It's Byron. Byron, yes. Byron Trump.
No, it's not. It's Barron.
Barron, thank you.
Yeah. I knew it was something close, but
Started with a B. That's all I know.
yeah.
And look what happened to Herschel Walker after he spoke. The next day they got on him too. Talk about don't speak about racism. I'm like, this man was born in the deep South. Okay, he knows. And him and Trump been friends for 37 years. Hell, him and Trump went to Disneyland together.
Well, they had Vernon Jones, who is he's a DeKalb County. He's like 60 miles from me. He's a Democrat. He was speaking at the convention, and he was telling them that the Democrat Party doesn't like it when an African American thinks on their own, and they hate that because they want you, like Joe Biden said, if you don't vote for him, you ain't black. That is one of the racist things I've heard this year out of a man's mouth. And Donald Trump has done more for the black community in this country in the past 3 years than it was done in the past 50 years.
Yep. I keep telling about the opportunity zones he's created and about the billions of dollars he's gave black schools.
Obama wouldn't even look at it, and he supplied funds for those black colleges for the next 10 years, guaranteed. And how many great people are we going to get out of these black colleges and great minds? Because Donald Trump cares about the black community, but you may not agree with everything he says. That does not make him a racist.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Well, that's what I want to speak about next is the cancel culture. I'm sick of it. Mm-hmm. You know, they already took my Washington Redskins logo away, even though I wasn't a fan of the Redskins, but it was football history. They took away my Aunt Jemima, which was stupid. They took away Uncle Ben's. They took away the Land O'Lakes person on the box. Now they're trying to get rid of Eskimo pies, which is stupid. I don't know why. Now they're trying to get rid of Mrs. Buttersworth.
Because
my
it's
God.
Indoctrination, Leon.
Well, what is it? Stop.
Yeah, it's not going to until, it's not going to.
Well, you guys, it's not only that.
Right, it's in the name of the right thing, according to them. And what they're doing is they're erasing our history. They're erasing their history, and they have no idea that that's what they're doing. They think they're doing the right thing.
No, they don't. Mm-hmm. Listen, not only are they taking stuff away, but they're also changing stuff.
They're changing it. They're molding it to their own perspective, and
they're calling darkness light. They're calling good evil.
And now they're burning books now too.
And it's been going on for a long time.
They're burning Bibles now too.
They're burning Bibles and
they're getting away with it.
Mm-hmm.
That's because the silent majority is not rising up and to say we've had enough of this crap. You need to stop.
That's what I keep saying. The senior citizens, the disabled people, and people that have been quiet need to start talking.
Mm-hmm.
That's the thing. And remember last time we did a video, Becca, you were saying go out there and interview. Yep. I'm kind of with Joetta and Kim on that. That's kind of dangerous.
Yeah, because everyone's opinion is so different.
Right now during these circumstances, but I don't know if you guys watched my Facebook Live videos that I used to do before I ever met Brandon and opened my YouTube channel. I used to go to NFB conventions and I would go to the exhibit hall with my iPhone and I would interview the exhibitors live on my Facebook channel about their products, you know?
I remember that, Rebecca.
Yeah, and that's kind of what I'm talking about. If you're in a safe situation like that, as blind people, we have these amazing abilities just with our technology, you know. But as far as what's going on right now, if you I'm not saying to go out and report on dangerous stuff in your neighborhood, but like, let's say you wake up because you hear sirens in your neighborhood and you hear through the grapevine or you see on the news that it was because your neighbor 3 blocks over was robbed or their house caught fire or they lost everything. I mean, let's talk about these things so we can pray for these people, you know? I'm not saying we start a prayer chain, but at least if we talk about these people who are hurting in America, other people who do care can hold them up in prayer. And I don't know, maybe if they live near them, to help them out, you know?
And what I did the other day, I started somewhat of a neighborhood watch because a lot of my neighbors didn't know what was going on in other cities. I was flabbergasted. I had to show them. I'm like, what can we do? So I've been formulating a plan. What can we do? Mm-hmm. Because I'll be damned, excuse my French, if these little idiots come in this neighborhood and tear it down. I would die on this hill.
Out here in the suburbs of Atlanta, we got guns.
Huh?
Out here in Atlanta, the suburbs, we all got guns, and we'll send them with the eternal dirt nap if we got to.
Yep, give them some freedom seeds.
They're not going to burn our houses down out here.
People have worked too hard to get what they got.
You got that right.
Joe, I've sent you that video of those idiots in Seattle telling people to give up your home, open up your. I'll be damned.
Well, if everybody remembers Cuba, when Fidel Castro took over the country, he took away everybody's property. He took away their homes. He took away their health care. He took away everything and put them on the system. And how he funded that is he took everything away, just like the Democrats want to do right now with us.
And they've been trying in Congress for a long time now.
Mm-hmm.
And when socialism gets here, the disabled will be the first ones to be hurt by it, because when the money runs out, guess who's going to pay for it? Us. We're going to be the first ones.
We will
hurt.
all pay for it,
but it'll trickle up. It'll
be all America, though. It'll kill all America.
And those little idiots that's rioting right now, they don't realize when socialism gets here, they will be one of the first to go because they're so weak-minded. They don't understand that communism has never worked anywhere.
No.
I just don't understand that. But and on another note, my next topic, if y'all done with this one, oh man, about these kids in school on virtual online classes, these teachers don't want the parents in there with them. Uh-huh. I think I shared the video with you, Joetta. I got to send it to you. Well, what happened in Tennessee last week? The parents, they had to sign a waiver saying that they won't be in the virtual classroom with their students. With their children, which is, I don't understand why. Because like they said, they don't want the parents knowing what they're teaching their kids. This came out of a teacher's mouth.
They're teaching them propaganda.
Mm-hmm.
They're trying to teach them that 1612, new stuff now. It's called 1612, I think. And it changes the history of America. It tells them America was based on wrong stuff. And
look how they tried to change. They tried to change, Columbus Day. They've tried to change all these important Thanksgiving, Halloween. I mean, it's tradition. It's not necessarily because we need the facts or because we need their opinion. They just don't like it the way it is. And it's offended somebody. And because it's offended somebody, everybody has to be offended. And that's okay.
The needs of the few outweigh the needs of the many. And that's what's crazy.
And it's like, why can't our country have traditions too? We are a diverse cultural country, founded by many.
Built by many.
Constitution, and people need to remember that there's a reason that we work. Capitalism in this country has worked.
But the thing is, those same kids that are running around talking about capitalism is bad, but you're running around with $300 shoes on and $400 jeans.
$1,000 iPhone.
Yes, and a $2,000 computer.
Yeah, and they need it.
Mm-hmm. And what about that Starbucks? They love their Starbucks. I mean, without that, they would die.
Yeah, the $8 cup of coffee.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and but to them, capitalism is bad. Like, don't you see the hypocrisy?
There is a huge, yes.
I mean, I just don't understand.
And once
Go ahead, Joetta.
we go to a socialist government completely, and our rights are taken away for a marketed insurance, we can't choose which insurance we have. It'll be issued to us by the government, and it'll be the bare minimum. Doctors' offices will go under, so you'll see a doctor that the government chooses for you. It's your rights are taken away on many, many levels. Your income will go mainly to the government and not in your pocket. They think it mainly goes to the government now, and that's not the case. We live in a very free country. People need to examine why it's free.
And why everybody has a fair shot.
Yes.
But they don't understand that. They think.
And why so many people from other countries want to come here the legal way.
You know, the people who aren't making big things happen in their life, who aren't being able to do anything, a lot of those people are people who are just sitting around complaining. They have poor me attitudes, or they're too lazy to go do anything.
Because they want everything handed to them.
Because they've been told a lie all their life.
Mm-hmm.
I can go to school. Go to college and get this gender studies degree, and I'm supposed to get $100,000 a year job. No, it doesn't work like that.
It doesn't work that way.
America needs skilled labor. That's what we need.
Anything that you study or learn to do, you have to work for. There's going to be tears and sweat and labor behind anything you do. And if you're not willing to do that, then why bother? You might as well go on a government program.
Mm-hmm. And they want the average taxpayer to pay for their college debt. No, I'm not paying for nobody's debt. I'm sorry, I can barely get mine. That's just sad. I've accepted my debt, and I've taken responsibility of paying it off.
Yes, because it was for the betterment of your future,
mm-hmm.
The country's, your future. And the country benefits in the end because now you're, part of it.
Well, and it's trickled down and everybody benefits in the end. You know what I mean?
Yes. Yeah.
That's the great thing about how capitalism works and how our economy works and how our government is supposed to work.
We
all contribute to society.
Yep.
We're supposed to, but these kids don't know that because, like when that idiot got killed in Austin a month ago, BLM literally took busloads up there to Austin, and now they're rioting too in my own backyard. Never thought I'd see the day.
Well,
that's okay.
I was in Atlanta about a month ago, and I told Rebecca about this. My guide dog is black. I have a black lab. And I was approached by two black men, and they took offense that my dog was black. And they said, basically, I was already had another black person in chains working for me. And my mouth.
Oh, my gosh.
You got to be kidding.
That's awful.
And I told them I'm a legally blind person, and she is loved. I love my dog. I would never give my dog up. But they took offense that my dog was black, and I already had my dog in chains, again, like a typical white person.
Wow.
So now I'm scared to death because I have a black dog now. I could get shot.
Oh, Tim, that's sad.
Yes. That's how deranged the liberal left is.
Oh, my God. You wouldn't believe the crazy. Well, we all know the stuff that's been going on. It's just insane.
Tim, you do me a favor after this show? You text me your number, man. We got to talk.
I can text you both. I have both your guys' contact info. I'll make sure and send it to you.
Okay. Because Tim, do you have your concealed carry license?
here in Georgia, we don't have that. We have you're allowed to put it on your gun on the you can't carry a
They're
concealed
allowed open
carry
in
only,
Georgia.
not concealed.
Okay.
Really?
Yeah, you can have it on your driver's side passenger seat, and if a police officer comes up to you, and like you're supposed to, like every American should, you tell them I have a gun in the car, and you let them know where it is because you're a responsible citizen and not a crazy idiot.
And you keep your hands in sight.
Keep your hands on the steering wheel or on the dashboard like a normal person. And guess what? You'll survive that incident with the police officer. Because guess what? He's got to go home to his wife and kids later on that day.
Well, hell, when I used to get see and drive, hell, I used to get pulled over all the time and see nothing happen to me. You know why? Because I shut up and did everything they said.
Because you're an intelligent man. You're an intelligent man.
I was never afraid of the police growing up. Hell, sometimes when I go smoke my cigar outside, he'd be a constable parked in front of the driver under the shade tree. If I know he's there, I wave at him. And then I go commence to smoking my cigar. I had my idiotic cousin a couple months ago. He didn't even want to come into the drive-through. In the driveway. You know why? Because the constable was outside. I'm like, dude, what's wrong with you, man? He would just, under our shade tree, he would just, catching a little break, and he just drove on by. My cousin did. I saw that constable outside. I didn't even want to stop. I'm like, dude, if you're not doing anything, he's not going to stop you, you idiot. I don't know, man. It's just that's
a guilty conscience. That's a guilty conscience. I'm sorry.
Yeah. Wow. But Tim, man, I'm sorry that happened to you,
man.
Well,
I at that moment I was a little nervous because these were guys like 6'4" and they were buffed, and I thought, oh Lord, it's going to happen to me. I'm going to be on the news tonight. But thank God Tim, I got out of that
there's
situation.
An old saying. There's an old saying. The bigger they are, the harder they what?
They fall.
But I
thank you.
Since you can't carry a gun outside, Tim, right now, I know some things that you can get, that you can carry on you legal. They can't say nothing about it.
Okay, Leon, I'll make sure and send you Tim's number then, and you can give him a call.
But like I was saying earlier in this podcast, look at Wisconsin. The residents are finally fighting back. My God, I'm glad to see that Patriots are finally standing up. They're finally standing up, and it's only going to spread. Like I went to the gun range yesterday and bought some more ammo, and I talked to the manager. I'm like, he told me, so you getting ready for the insurrection? And my dad, God bless him, he doesn't believe in it. Even though I showed him all the videos of what's going on, he still don't want to believe it. I told him, Dad, why do you think I've been getting all this ammo the last few months? I'm locked and ready to go, okay, in case they come here, because I even put a shotgun, I put a shotgun in the back of his truck. He don't think he's going to need it. Oh, yes, you will, because after November 4th, it's going to be heck to pay. Watch and see. It's going to be so many riots and insurrection going around. My God, we're not going to recognize America for a while.
Well, that's why we need Donald Trump in there, because he will fix it somehow. He'll get the military involved and clean it up, and then he'll walk away with the military, and we all go back to normal again one day.
And the media will skew it so it seems horrible.
You just need to turn off that media.
Yeah.
Guys, Leon, I wanted to point out to you, be careful about putting a gun in your dad's truck. A close family member of mine had his safe stolen out of his van over the quarantine, and he lost a lot of valuable stuff.
Well, the thing,
looking at vehicles and stealing stuff.
Well, when my dad's F-150, that's why I like F-150s. Under the back seat, it's a lot of idiots don't know about that. It's like a little hidden compartment. That's what I like about them, and that's why I told my dad, for every new vehicle he gets, always forget that factory alarm and get a what they call those things, a Viper alarm put on that thing. And I made him get LoJack put in his truck, even though I got in trouble with LoJack on my first car I bought from the dealership. The cops came and stopped me because they thought my car was stolen. The LoJack battery was low, my key fob. So no problems. As you can see, I'm still here. They just got me out of my car and got me information, and I was on my way within 5 minutes. So, didn't act a fool with them. Still here. But like I was saying, I understand what you're saying, Becca. But
sorry, guys, my dogs are barking.
I thought they were asking a question.
Yeah, my dog is outside. I got to go get her after this.
Has anybody ever called into a call-in show? Last Tuesday, I was on the Rush Limbaugh show.
Really?
Oh, that's
I was the first caller on the 18th. We were talking about Michelle Obama's speech she did last week, and I told him what my take of it was that she was basically threatening America, that if Joe Biden's not elected, the country's going to get worse. Depend on it. And it's like saying, hey, if you don't do it our way, we're going to make your life a living hell. Because I believe the Antifa and Black Lives Matter is nothing but, if everybody's seen the old Batman movie, where he had all those criminals that work for him, that's basically what Antifa and Black Lives Matter is to the Democratic Party. They're the thugs. And if they control them, they do exactly what they want. And I think they are going to make our life a living hell if Donald Trump's elected. So I'm still voting for Donald J. Trump. Basically,
they're the new form of the KKK.
Yes, that's what it is. Who was started by the Democratic Party, by the way.
Mm-hmm. Tim, have you seen that film Uncle Tom?
Yeah, I watched it a couple of weeks ago on your link you guys did on this show.
Yes. Nice. Well, I've been trying to get other people to watch it. They don't want to watch it. They don't want the truth, but
they don't want the truth, because the truth will set you free, my friend.
Amen, brother. Sorry.
Yep.
Everybody needs to open up their eyes and see how, freedom is precious, but it can be taken away in an instant. Mm-hmm. And everybody needs to hold on to freedom with their hands and hang on tight, because it can be taken away so fast. And once you lose it, you ain't getting it back.
Well, that's what I want to speak on too, about these black athletes like LeFron James.
Oh my gosh!
How can you tell me that black folk are getting hunted down by white folks when, again, he's a multi? Don't you think that he'll be one of the first to go?
Well,
they get all these idiots hyped up and go out there and do stupid crap while you sitting in your ivory tower sipping champagne from a gold plated chalice. Let's say, look at that food. How can it be so racist when we have so many black millionaires now in this country than ever before?
Well, it's just like Tim Scott. It's like Tim Scott said the other night at the Senate. He goes, in a generation, my grandfather was picking cotton, had a third grade education, and within one generation, I am a senator. And only in America can that happen. If you got the will and the hard work you want to put into it, you can be anything you want. Don't let anybody else drag you down. You have got your life. You need to determine what your life's going to be. Don't let nobody else dictate it.
That's exactly right, Tim. And you know what? As blind people, a lot of times in life, we're told you can't accomplish that. You know what I mean? So to me, our message is very similar. And to me, that's why I'm so passionate about my channel, because I want to share this news with the world. You know what I mean? Not just on a political level about what's going on with our country, but on a personal level. It's so true. Like I was saying at the start of the show, when I freed myself from that liberal guardianship, that liberal lockdown that I was locked down under, I became so productive and so just unstoppable. And I just don't want to see that happen to the whole damn country. What happened to 1997?
I took an Uber, and it was a ride choice Uber. But I went about 50 miles from my house the other day, and because I had an appointment, and I was by myself, and I was early, and I had not been to this area in a while, and I was actually surprised that there was so many people out. because from the media and from family members and friends, you would think that there was nobody outside, that everybody was just hunkered down in their homes and in hiding. And I was surprised that civilization is still happening.
Life goes on
happening.
Sorry. Life goes on either the front door or not. It will pass you by if you don't go out that front door.
Exactly. I was walking around and I actually filmed myself a little bit. I was like, this feels like freedom.
Yeah. Speaking of Uber and Lyft, they're gone from just California.
Walking. Really?
Right.
Yeah.
What did you say, Leon?
I was saying, speaking of Uber and Lyft, they've left California as of last Thursday.
Oh, I heard that.
Yeah. Why did they leave? Because of the virus?
Can't go nowhere.
Last year, that idiotic Nancy Pelosi's nephew, the governor of California, Gavin Newsom, he signed that every worker has to be basically a full-time employee. So as you know, Uber and Lyft, they're contractors. You work when you want to work. And so Uber and Lyft will have to pay out full-time benefits. And said, no, we can't afford that. So they up and left.
Wow.
They've just put out 250,000 employees don't have a job now because of that.
Well,
250,000.
Think about the blind people in California who were using Uber and Lyft to get around. When Uber and Lyft came about, it revolutionized my life, as it did millions of blind people's lives. I feel so bad for my blind peers in California, knowing that they no longer have Uber and Lyft at their disposal.
Oh, well, there's more than that too. That's gone. Like hairdressers that are independent, they're gone. They quit. They can't survive. My God, the taxes are going to kill them. California
is the first socialist state there is, and they're the first ones that's done the Great Green Deal. And they've had brownouts the past 2 weeks because the heat's so bad. Because they don't allow natural gas, the cleanest fossil fuel there is. They won't allow them to use fossil fuel to power 9 gigawatts, and they can't get enough power, and they're set to turn off the power off in blocks.
And that's why those wildfires are so bad out there right now, because that communist company, Pacific Gas and Electric, that grids are so faulty. Man, my God.
So California is the perfect example of why socialism doesn't work.
It's pretty communist in California.
Yeah.
I got on my cousin. I got on a cousin that stays out there. When he came to Houston to visit last year, he was talking about how bad Trump is, and Trump is the grand wizard of the KKK. I'm like, you're an idiot, because here it is. You own a laundromat, and look how much you pay in taxes. Hell. Look how much it costs him to register 2 vehicles in California, $1,500 a year. And you want to talk about Trump? I'm like, it cost me $75 when I could drive to register my vehicle.
Speaking of taxes, has anyone looked closely at what Joe Biden is proposing to do to Social Security?
No, I didn't hear that one.
Kim, do you want to tell us?
I can put it in 2 short words. He gonna F it up. That's what's gonna happen.
Social Security has been effed up a lot over the years. But I will say that it was actually getting somewhat better under Trump, and the media was not playing it that way. And now they're playing it up that it's going to disappear and it's not protected anymore. And that's just not true.
Well, Kim, I hate to dissuade you on this one, but this was before Trump ever went to office. And I was still in Oklahoma at the time. We had a town hall meeting, and 2 of the legislatures in Oklahoma, members came in that were in Washington. They came to Oklahoma because they're representatives from Oklahoma. Yeah. And they talked to us then. And they told us at that point, and we're talking 2010 at the time,
Yeah.
They're talking that Social Security is supposed to run out of money by 2023.
Yeah. Clinton, actually, going back to his administration, he ended a big bill that actually was helping Social Security and protecting it. And people don't seem to realize that. I actually made a list the other day of all the presidents during my lifetime and the things that they have accomplished or done, good or bad, for our country.
Would you like to share that, Kim?
That people do that.
Can you read it real quick? How long is your list?
It's pretty long, but I will say that after I went back and stated that which party the presidents belonged to and how many terms they served, it didn't favor well for the Democratic presidents. And oddly enough, it's always the Democratic presidents that are popular with the people because the media plays them up like rock stars.
Yeah, especially what Obama did with the EPA. I hate what he did. He screwed over the last smelting plant, put all those people out of jobs. That's why do we send all our stuff to China so they can melt it down and then they send it back to us so we could use it? That's crazy.
That's because it was pocketing Joe Biden and his son.
You know, that's why there's a shortage on ammo now because of our smelting plant. We got to get lead from China, basically, which is, I don't understand that. You know, but these corrupt Democratic politicians like Nancy Pelosi, who's worth over almost $300 million, you figure that. You know, this quick here we got Sheila Jackson Lee, who's in my district for 30 years. I don't know why these idiots keep putting her in office over here. My God. But this is why I cannot stand. This is why I'm in favor of limiting terms. This is why I like that new lady in Baltimore who's one for Congress.
She's awesome. I hope she gets elected. She is a pistol. She is a great
she spoke
person.
The other day at the ONC.
What is her name, guys?
It's
Kim Clancy.
Yeah, Kim Clancy. She's awesome.
She's a former beauty queen at Baltimore.
She's got a great ad on YouTube. If you watch it, put the ad up on YouTube. It's a great ad. It shows you what Baltimore's been in control by the Democrats over 40 plus years, and it's done nothing to help the inner city. It's gotten worse.
Can you spell her name for
Kim? Kim. Hold on. Let me. Kim space. I think it's K or C.
It's
L.
K.
Yeah. KLASIC, something like that.
Yeah. It's a great video.
Yeah, because in the video, she's walking around showing how decrepit Baltimore is. And it's gained popularity since last month. It's all got over 10 million views, I think.
Yeah, I hope to God that she's elected and take that Elijah Cummings seat away from the Democrats would be great.
Well, and change needs to happen.
If the African American would open their mind and see that the Democratic Party keeps them on the plantation in their mind and realize they're being used every 4 years, just like Joe Biden said, if you don't vote for me, you ain't black. If they would wake up, we could take back America.
Well, you got to get with those black.
Worst.
You know what, guys? I totally agree with you guys, but it's not just the African Americans. A lot of people are actually in bondage because of what they've got going on up here. It's our thoughts that can change our lives.
It's public education.
Yes, it's that indoctrination.
That's why they fight so hard to keep all these kids in these broken schools, because they could control their mind.
It has nothing to do with the subject. You're going off subject about that. What does learning socialism have to do with math? It doesn't. Math is linear. You know, it's just straight fact. You can't get, there's no if and a but. It's right there, just like science. There's no if and a buts about it. It's right there. But why are you trying to teach kids about gender in science class? No. Well, I don't want to do it. I don't want to go there. I really don't. But I'm going to have no choice. We all know in science class there's only 2 genders, but they're trying to teach there's 1,000 genders. How in the God's green earth? How? You know, I've read a report that in Southern California, there are 32% of children that don't know if they're a boy or a girl. Come on now. You got these kids being born to these parents where I want my child to decide what gender they are. Well, on God's green earth.
Well, isn't there a lawsuit in Texas where a woman is trying to choose for her?
The dad lost. He just
dad
lost 2 weeks
the
ago.
mother wants her son to be a girl,
and
the boy wants to be a boy, and he said he wants to be a boy, but his mother is genetically by pills is castrating him and going to give him a gender body change in Texas.
Tim,
that was in Dallas.
I did a video about that. You should go back early it's on my YouTube channel. That was a disgusting case. That poor little boy.
The dad just lost the case.
Dad lost the case.
The chemical castration of that little, 7 or 8 year old boy makes me so angry as a mother.
No wonder these kids are so confused.
And now they're teaching this stuff to kids in school about LGBT history and all of that. Hell, look in Chicago. There's a bill trying to get passed. They're trying to get rid of history at all costs. Just get rid of the history part of the curriculum. Just get rid of
biology.
Leon, we've been talking about that for a while.
Yeah.
Because I'm going to tell y'all all something real quick. That's been going on long before I even left school. And we're talking in the 70s, people. Mm-hmm. That's been going on for a while. Every time the books changed, something was dropped and they thought people weren't noticing, but we did. Because back in my day, algebra wasn't called algebra. It was called the new math. Yeah. Okay? And then when you got further up the chain, there wasn't no gender bending in school. Wasn't none of that mess. You were a boy or you were a girl. Right. End of story. If you felt a little different, well, there's psychology for that. There is electroshock therapy. You know, people talked about this stuff, but there wasn't I don't know if I'm a boy or girl. Wasn't none of that crap going on.
I disagree with electric shock therapy, guys.
I do too. Because it's stupid.
I don't want to be shocked by nothing.
But you do get shocked. It's called static electricity.
There were a lot of parents doing that to their kids.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
A lot of this went on back then.
Gender dysphoria. Now that I don't bring it up anymore.
It don't make sense. Back then, you didn't talk about stuff like that because your child was a boy or a girl. End of story. And if you had that inclination, then you had to go see a psychologist.
Well, that's the thing. That the psychiatrists are the ones that's telling these kids that they are the opposite sex now. That's a problem too.
It's stupid.
Right.
You know, like this one guy, he actually changed his sex. He said, and a guy that was on an interview with him said, "How long did it take before the doctor started offering you hormone pills?" Right after the first visit. I'm like, the first visit? That's all? My God.
So I used to teach preschool a long time ago, and there was this wave of methodology there. Like, do you discipline the child? How do you discipline the child? How do you talk to the child? Do you talk to them like an adult? Do you talk to them like a kid? If they're getting in trouble, do you take it away from them and listen to them cry? That kind of thing. And it boiled down to parents are giving their kids way too many choices.
They're giving them the choices of an adult instead of the adult being
there's no consequence. Yeah.
Yep.
And we've gotten parents are not giving their kids any consequences.
You know where that came from, Kim, right?
Yeah.
You know where that came from, right?
Where? I
want you to go way back. when, and I'm going to say this actually got started long before this, but back when the courts allowed the children to say, my mom and dad is abusing me, and the court slapped the parents on the hand and said, oh, no, you can't do that.
All right.
Can we say it gave the kids the go juice to go, oh, well, we can control our parents now.
I'm going to
All we
call
got to do is threaten them with
911.
court. Thank you. Thank you. As
Well,
when
they
they
started
gave
it too, but you got to look at
was on
these
before
parents
that.
too. Look at these parents who are so very liberal now.
That's true.
They don't want their kids to play in sports or everybody gets a trophy. No, you have to earn that trophy.
Because they don't understand consequences.
Mm-hmm.
But you know what? Not this whole thing with everybody gets a trophy. Not only do they not understand consequences for losing, but it takes away from the joy of actually winning and accomplishing something.
That's right.
And what,
An achievement.
And sometimes losing's the best thing because it makes you want to strive to do better next time in life.
Yep.
Work harder.
Yep.
Well, these kids today they don't know how to I can't speak. These kids today don't know how to face adversity either. Especially about a bully. Like my dad told me, is if somebody hits you, fight him back. You might lose, but that kid will learn not to mess with you no more.
Yeah, my saying is, you might beat me up, but I'm going to knock out a couple of your teeth in the process.
Yes.
Oh my gosh, and yeah, that would never fly these days.
So guys,
no, that's just too mean. Yes.
Guys, so here's the thing. We all clearly feel the same way about all of these issues. I'm going to bring up a topic that maybe is kind of controversial, so maybe we can get some controversy going on.
Okay.
How does everybody feel about medical marijuana or about marijuana being legalized, period?
Heck, man, I don't care. I don't care. I really don't care if it's legalized or not, but I did read an article the other day about Texas back in the day. One seed, a marijuana seed, was life in prison here. I did not know that at one point.
That's a real old law.
I know, but but if you had a joint, that was 2 life sentences, mandatory, no matter what.
Well, the way I look at it, if it's medically necessary to help that patient, then by all means, legalize it to help that patient. Because here in the state of Texas, we can't do that. But you can go buy CBD oil, though.
Yeah, or the pills. You can get the
you can do
pills.
that. Now, as far as I know, here in San Antonio, I don't know about Houston, but in San Antonio, the only people that can actually get the full-blown marijuana are people that are epileptic, or children.
Same here. And cancer patients here. Certain cancer patients can get it.
That's it. That's all they can get it. Anything else recreational-wise? Oh, no.
Okay, so let's talk about our personal views, though, guys. It sounds like, personally, Joetta, you're opposed to marijuana? Is that right?
You use it?
Personally, no, I didn't say that. I said as long as it's medically necessary, I have no problem with it.
Okay, and Leon, you're in the same way? You're also in favor of it?
I don't care either way. My thing is, with marijuana, my thing is the people that smoke it, most people that smoke it, they're making an excuse to smoke it. It's just, hey, man, just cut the BS and say you just want to smoke it, man, okay? Like I knew a kid in school last year, oh, man, I got to smoke this. I got to smoke this because of my test. I'm like, damn, fool, you were going to smoke it if you aced that test or not. Okay? So stop playing games.
Okay, so I also want to poll Timothy and Kimberly on this question. How do you guys feel about it?
Ladies first.
Oh, okay. Well, I actually told my doctor just the other day that I am not open to using medical marijuana. I don't think I would respond to it.
Kim, did your doctor bring the topic up to you, or did you approach it with him?
I approached it because we're at a point that my pain is not controlled by traditional means.
Uh-huh. Okay, I can talk to you about some alternatives for pain control off the air because I've done things in the past other than medical marijuana that I've found great help.
I've been doing it for 30 years, so it doesn't.
Pain management, you mean?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, me too.
And that's a joke in itself. I'm sorry.
It is.
Can I speak on that, Becca, right quick?
Yep. Go ahead, Leon.
Back, when I first lost my eyesight, how depressed I was, and I had to see a psychiatrist. They tried to put me on Prozac. I took it for a couple of months, and I said, you know what, this is not going to, I don't want this anymore. I don't want to be on antidepressants. And I weaned myself off of it. And what it was, I had to get confidence in myself to go out and do stuff again. Like basically I had to get my mojo back. And that's what I did, with the lighthouse and other stuff. Mm-hmm. And so, I couldn't see myself being on Prozac every day. I couldn't do it. And then again, if that didn't work, he was gonna give me something stronger. I'm like, no, man, I don't want any antidepressant pills. What I did, I had to go, I had to do what I used to do before I lost my eyesight, get my cigars and just sit back and think about what I did wrong. Or hell, I smoke a cigar when I do something great. It depends that all depends on what I've done. What brand I smoke. But I can't see, like you said, with the medical marijuana, it does help people. I've seen that. It does help them. It does.
I accept that.
No, not you, Kim. I mean, I know what you're saying, but I'm just saying, like some people, they deal with stuff differently. Some stuff works for people, and some doesn't.
Right.
I'm just saying, find the niche that works for you. I mean, like I say, people think I'm crazy for smoking cigars. They think I'm an old man. I'm like, you really don't know cigars like that, but okay.
So what is Tim's opinion? I don't think I heard his opinion.
My opinion is, Rebecca's, I'm okay with it if it's medical for pain, cancer, epileptic, stuff like that. But I really don't like it for a recreational drug.
Right.
I've had a son that does it, and it started another process. He started doing cocaine after he started with the pot smoking for about 3 or 4 years. Thank God he's got clean now. But it's just, to me, it's just a starter, and it can work up to something that's worse. So grateful for that, but I just don't like the idea of it. And I got retinitis pigmentosus, and people keep telling me all the time, smoke pot, it'll help your eyes.
Same thing for glaucoma.
I want to keep my health. I want to keep myself healthy mentally, and I just don't like the prospect of doing any drugs like that.
Amen.
That's right. I'm glad that we had an opposing opinion because, I mean, like I said, guys, we were discussing President Trump, and we all love President Trump, and that was kind of the problem. We want some opposition on the show too. So honestly, that's why I brought this up as a topic, so we could have some opposition discussion. So does anyone else have another topic they'd like to discuss?
I like to ask a question. It could be a little. Should Black African Americans be called Black African Americans or just Black Americans?
Black Americans.
Black Americans.
Because that jackass Jesse Jackson coined that damn term back when he was running for president in the 80s. African American.
Well, you're not
all Black Americans are from Africa.
Bingo.
Oh damn.
I'm an American who happens to be Black. I'm an American first, though. Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry, y'all. I had to bust out laughing on that.
Why is that?
Why, Joanna?
Oh, Jesus. Leon, I didn't even tell you this one. Mm-hmm. You spoke of Jesse Jackson, right?
Mm-hmm.
Keep hope alive.
Shut up, please. I put my hope in his behind. When he came to Oklahoma when I was still living there, he brought that very thing up. And back then, I was like 18, 19 years old. And my mama used to get on my tail because of my mouth. Well, I had just had a big wake-up call with Nixon. Enough said?
Yeah.
All right. Now, so the way I look at politics is this way. I'd rather hear the issues, not all the BS muckraking and mud run that they do every time election comes around. Just tell me the real stuff. I don't want to hear about this bullshit. So when he started that mess, I said, you know what? I hate to say this, but I'm going to say this. Not near one of us that live in the United States was born in Africa. We were all descendants of people who came from Africa. If we were to step in Africa right now, the Africans that are over there would not recognize us as their fellow people.
Right.
They would say we are a Black American taking up African space.
Yeah.
Well, hell, speaking of that, the Africans that are here they don't like us here because they don't want us.
No, they don't.
They don't want us mingling with their children.
Nope.
I can see that now. When me in my blind state, going to school with their children, they look at me like, ugh. I'm like, well, forget you.
Yeah.
You know.
Yep.
It reminds me of the blind hierarchy, you guys.
Oh, don't even go there with that.
As someone who's only legally blind anymore, I know a lot of my totally blind peers have looked down upon me over time because they look at me as inferior to them.
I feel that way, Becca. Like I'm not
you know
to be blind enough.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because me and Leon, we went through. I know when I was telling Leon this stuff. Remember when I first got to Chris Cole? About 2 months later, we were sitting there talking about how there's so many cliques inside of that place.
Yeah. Well.
And it made no sense.
Well, you know that saying, in the land of the blind, the one-eyed person is God.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Damn. Okay.
I'm just saying, in the land of the blind, the one-eyed king is God. I mean, the one-eyed person is God.
Yeah, that one-eyed person better get a life because he nowhere near be God at any other time in my life.
But that. I wanted to discuss that about the blindness, you know, about people, like we said earlier, Beck, about sighted people that don't think blind people can do anything. I like proving them wrong. That's why I do it a lot. I just like proving them wrong that I can do anything. You know, like especially about back to the firearms. A lot of people. Well, I wouldn't say a lot of people, but my people, you know, they didn't think they're the ones that made fun of me. But the other races, they're the ones that they're the ones showing me how to shoot. How to load it up and shoot it. Mm-hmm. I'm like, wow, they took the time out of their busy schedule to do this for me. My Black brethren made fun of me. Tell me, how the hell you gonna shoot a gun you can't see? Like I tell them, once you come find out. Okay, you know. It amazes me how some sighted people just the stereotypes that they have about blind folk. I mean, when I first lost my eyesight, man, you discussed this, Joetta.
Yeah.
They start talking loud, like, hey, and they start talking loud and slow. Hey, this is such and such. Man, I know who you are. And everybody thinks I can play an instrument for some reason, or I can sing. You think all blind people can sing? I can't sing to save my life, and I don't try to.
Oh, have you ever had this come at you? Let me ask you a question to all of y'all. Have you ever had this come at you? Oh, well, you're supposed to know who I am by the sound of my voice.
Not yet. I've had people just come to me, again, talking slow. This is such and such, and they think blind folks do like Stevie Wonder do, you know, move back and forth with his eye. I'm like, you do know that's a stereotype. And
or you don't wear sunglasses. You can't be blind. That's what I'm talking about.
Right.
I said, that's a stereotype. Some do, but a lot of my friends don't.
They don't.
Oh, see, the reason I asked that question?
Every time sees me walking with Glacier, my guide dog, they always say, oh, he's training that dog. He's training that dog. And I go, no, she's mine. I'm legally blind. Well, I can't tell. You don't got no sunglasses on. I'm going, you're a fool.
Well,
the reason I asked that question because I was at my daughter-in-law's youngest daughter or only daughter birthday party, and her mom now turns around and goes, "Oh well, she knows who I am. She's heard my voice enough." Excuse me? We're in a pizza place where it's loud, noisy, and just total pandemonium, right? But I'm supposed to pick out her voice above all those others and know it's her.
That's because we hear everything, not just somebody's voices. We hear everything.
I know.
It can get confusing in a loud area.
Oh,
and
yeah.
that's what I told her. That's exactly what I told her. Oh, well, you know my voice. I'm like, oh, dear God, how stupid can you be?
Or that Ray Charles trick. I'm like, that's only in the movie. That you people are dumb. I'm like, how can I tell how somebody look by touching their wrist? That's just stupid. I'm like, boy, y'all have so many stereotypes. It's funny to me, but I used to get upset with it. Now I just play the game with them.
I ain't playing no game. I'll look at them like they're crazy. I'm sorry, but what hole did you crawl out of to get that idea?
Oh, like one time I went to a relative's house, and so I'm gonna play a trick on them. I went to the restroom and I came. I'm like, boy, that toilet sure is high. Oh my God, he went in the sink.
Oh, you didn't. You didn't.
Like, boy, that show making these toilets kind of high now.
Damn. Leon, that's bad.
But they fell for it though. I'm like, my God, you actually think I'm that dumb? Nothing. But then that's the stereotypes that they think that these people have who've never been around blind folk. They just think all we're supposed to do is play. If we can't play an instrument, we're screwed.
God.
It's a visual stereotype, and unfortunately,
yes, it is.
That become blind later in life, pick up those stereotypes ourselves, and it makes us self-conscious.
When I went blind as a child, from the way that people were acting around me, I was afraid I was going to have to learn to play the piano. Like, who was that blind guy that used to play the piano?
Stevie Wonder, Ray Charles.
Stevie Wonder, Ray Charles.
Yeah, because
and they all sway.
Everybody I knew that Pepsi commercial with Ray Charles on it, right? And so people were like telling me, someday you can do something cool like Ray Charles, right?
Oh my God!
Are you freaking kidding me? I don't want to play the piano. I don't want to be on Pepsi commercials. I have my dreams.
Well, speaking of Ray Charles, on the Blues Brothers, you do know he did shoot at that kid.
Ray Charles shot
in the movie. In the movie,
Blues Brothers. After he did his performance.
Oh yeah.
He shot that pistol at that kid for trying to steal a guitar.
Mm-hmm.
But
yes, he did.
But especially when I go to school, the stereotypes I get. Like I told one kid back in my psychology class, this idiot literally thought that I had been blind all my life because the teacher said, Leon. The teacher clearly said Leon hadn't been blind all his life. And then when I would bring up subjects like, when I used to drive my car, I got a few tickets. This idiot said, man, you've been driving a car since you've been blind. I'm like, you can't be this stupid. My dear God, man. But this is how the educational system teaches these idiots now. Because he was fresh out of high school. Like, boy, I tell you. They're not teaching. And one girl clearly said about because my teacher was from Africa. He was from Cameroon, to be exact. This idiot said, how long does it take to drive from Houston to Africa?
Oh my God.
Like, you clear dumb.
Wow.
I'm like, my
really?
God, the educational system is screwed up. It really is.
So
that's an understatement.
And we spend the most money than anybody in the world on education.
True.
Did Kim want to say something?
I just said, so if he's driving over the ocean?
Mm-hmm. And the teachers was like, Mike, he said, son, I just know his jaw had dropped when that dummy said that. I'm like, you cannot be this dumb, man. You really can't be this stupid. All you gotta do is look at him.
That would be the world's biggest expansion bridge ever.
Mm-hmm.
Talk about
put a flotation device around the car. There you go.
Yeah. Give him one of those cars from like the 007 movies that converts.
Yeah, 007 movie.
But my God, man. But and like I did my disability panel last year at my school, I was telling them, about these kids. I had a thing to say. You know what? How about I take half of y'all and blindfold you and teach how to use a cane for a day, and you work, and then you could see how it feels like being with me when y'all sit in the hallway with your feet out. You don't care. You're on your phone in the hallway, just like it's nothing on the phone that important. I've seen a girl literally almost fall off the banister on the 3rd floor on her phone.
Dang.
I'm like, you can't be this stupid. She literally dropped her phone and broke it. It fell all the way down. I'm like, what are you do? Like, my God, man. I'm like, girl, if that banister was there, you'd be dead. Another one almost got hit by a car. I mean, as soon as she got out of her car in the parking lot, was on her phone, almost got hit by a car. I'm like, come on, man. These kids don't pay attention. I'm like, no wonder insurance is so high now. I can see why. I really can see why. And I mean, I've got tripped so many times in the hallway. Oh, man, I didn't see you. Are you trying to be funny or what? They just sit in the hallway. They just bump into you. Don't say, excuse me. I'm like, it's going to be okay. I'm like, that's okay. Keep doing it. You're going to see a blind man walking down the hallway with a big 2x4.
It goes deeper than that, though, Leon, because there's a lack of respect for elders.
There you go.
Or women and children.
Yeah.
There you go.
Anymore.
Have you ever walked into a store and you stood there before somebody helped you?
Yeah, I've been there, done that.
I've actually wandered through stores looking for someone to help me.
Yes.
Because the person up at the front will have stepped away and I'll be wandering through. Usually it's like those small boutiques, and where there's only a couple of employees anyway, and you're wandering through looking for someone to help you.
And you can hear people.
Yeah.
Surely they see me.
Oh yeah, I've stood someplace. I hear lots of people talking, but they're around the corner or over on the other side of a counter, and I stand up there. I'm like, "Hello, can anybody hear me?
Hello, I'm here."
Yeah.
Excuse me. Yeah.
Can you go?
Really
I'd like to go one step worse. I can go one step worse. Try walking into a doctor's office at a medical building that their office is on another floor. You walk into the lobby and you're trying to figure out which way to go. And you're in front of the reception desk and she's just standing there looking at you like, why are you standing there?
Yeah.
She sees the cane.
You got the cane.
She sees the cane. Right. She sees the cane, but she's standing there looking at me like, what?
Well, I got people that says, well, don't the dog know where you need to go? Come on now.
Dang, are you serious?
Yeah, they said, don't your dog. Your dog should know where to go. Yeah, she can read my mind.
Wow.
If I tell her to go to the
dog
elevator,
is the GPS system now.
There, that's good. Tim, that's my last good reason for not getting a guide dog. Thank you.
Damn.
If I tell her to find the elevator, she takes me to the elevator. If I say find steps, she finds the step. Other than that, or the door, she'll show me where the door is. Other than that, I'm on my own.
Wow.
Yeah, hey Tim,
that poor dog.
From interview video, would you like to introduce your dog on that video?
Yeah, I'll show Glacier. Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, I like
that poor dog.
Name.
That poor dog.
Mm-hmm. Cool name.
Did you name her, Tim, or did she come with that?
No, at the puppy raiser. I'm going to meet the puppy raiser in Wisconsin when I go up to Minneapolis in a week and a half. So we're excited about that trip.
Is Glacier going to see her?
Yes, Glacier's going to get to see her puppy raisers.
Oh,
nice.
So we're excited about it, and I
can't have a dog now because my dog will be jealous. She'll fight it every chance she gets.
But she's going to. We're going to Alaska next year on a cruise, hopefully, and I'm taking her with me. And
Tim, how do you potty your dog on a cruise? Do you know?
How do I park her?
No.
Well, take her out to go to the bathroom. Yeah,
it's called park. It's park.
Okay, how do you park?
It depends on the cruise line, the one that I'm going on. they will order sod for me, a 3x5 square sod, and they will put it in a box so it's grass. And I just go to that location where it's kind of away from everybody. It's in the crew area on the ship, and she just does her business, and I pick it up and throw it away. I'm a personal pooper scooper for a dog, but hey, it's fun.
I have 2 dogs of my own, so yeah, dogs are great.
It doesn't bother me anymore like it did. The first day I picked up her poop, I was gagging and throwing up. It was pretty bad, but
is it like wiping your own baby's bottom now?
Oh, I would rather pick up my dog's poop than clean a diaper now. So I would rather pick up my dog's poop than clean a diaper.
Okay, well,
I have a question for Tim.
Yes, ma'am.
Does anyone get your guide dog confused with like a comfort dog?
Well, do they or do I?
Do they? Anyone?
No, because the harness I have on her clearly shows that she's guided me around.
Okay.
Because if she's a comfort dog, she's just on a regular leash. She's on a steel harness that goes around her, and it's got a long handle on it. Mm-hmm. And it says on there, please don't pet. I know I'm cute, but people still don't. That's that education we were talking about. They don't know how to read.
Yeah.
Hey, Tim,
they know how to read. They just ignore it.
Tim, that's what I said. That's why I was saying that those 2 black idiots, my God, they didn't see that was a sin.
All they saw was a black dog. That's all they saw.
Honestly, you know what they saw? They saw a white man with a black dog who they could correct. That's what they saw.
It was color.
Yep.
That's
all they saw.
And also, I wanted to speak to everybody. When you're on the phone and you're telling people I'm visually impaired, they ask you, what does that mean? Have they ever asked you that?
Just say you're blind.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah. I'll be forgetting to say, but I just like to say visually impaired. And excuse me, sir, what does that mean?
I would say I can see you're mentally impaired.
I need to try. I'm gonna use that one from now on too.
One day I was sitting there and I was working on something on the phone, and I had my Bluetooth in so they couldn't hear anything. And this man walks up to me and goes, "Ma'am, can you give me directions to so and so and so and so?" And I'm looking at him like, "Say what?" And he goes, "Well, can you give me directions to the building?" "Sir, this is the front door right here. There's a receptionist inside. If you could tell them where you're going, I'm sure they'll tell you." "Well, can't you?" "I don't work here." "Well, can't you see to tell me where I'm going?"
What I love is when they tell you, if you're trying to get somewhere, they tell you, "Oh, it's over down that way," and you can't.
Yeah.
Oh God, yeah.
That way, left, right.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That way could be like 3 miles before you hit anything. So
I'm saying, jeez, it's so stupid. It is so stupid. Some of the things that I hear them tell you, and I'm like,
so you guys, that's exactly why as blind people, this is something I learned from my own experience traveling on my own, and this was something that was also taught at the blind school I went to for people who didn't already know it, and that is knowing how to ask for directions from people and how to translate the information they're giving you and feed it back to them to make sure that that's how they're intending you to interpret it, you know?
Well, I have a question.
Yes.
Here in Texas, we have something called White Cane Safety Day. Do y'all have that where y'all at?
Yes.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
Tim, it's everywhere. You'll learn it eventually. Isn't it in October? I think.
Yeah.
It's October.
Okay, month is October.
I say that because I was in Houston.
Awareness Month, Tim. Dennis does lots of events in October for White Cane Safety Day and stuff.
The one in Houston, it needs a lot of improvement because it's the same thing. I want to try to get the advocates that do it to make us more independent. That's the purpose of it. We're supposed to show people that we are independent, but it's the same spot every year where we just walk around a little square block. And I'm like, come on, can we do something like the one in Austin? It's farther away from the school.
Give a challenge. Make it a challenging.
Yeah.
They should get
exactly what we do.
3,000 blind people and their canes and dogs and get them out there walking.
Actually, that's what they did in that's what they did in New York one year. A friend of mine, when he was working at a company called Art Beyond Sight, they had a great big white cane day, and he and several other people organized a big march. And before it was over, there were 1,500 people in the group. Everybody was blind or low visioned, and they all had their white canes, and it was real cool. They were going down the street talking about things, and people come up and ask them, and they'd stop and talk. And then when they got to this pavilion, they had a big program all set out and everything. And for those that wanted to know, they talk about it. And I thought that was pretty cool. I was like, too bad they can't do that everywhere. They should.
Yeah.
They should, but you can't get people to get together like that because somebody somewhere is going to come up with an excuse.
Well,
I'm just timid.
When I went to Savvy in Phoenix a few years ago, they were doing all kinds of great events. Like in October when it was White Cane Safety Month, they did all kinds of I remember we got together with the VA and did a march on White Cane Safety Day. And so the blind school that I was affiliated with here did a lot of cool stuff like that. And so does the NFB overall, to help the public recognize white canes and stuff.
Mm-hmm. Well, have you ever been to study of a science experiment like I was? When I started getting out the house at the lighthouse, we were the science experiment. That was pretty cool. It was like the sound colors make and stuff. Like a darker color would be like a more mellow tone, and a lighter color was more of a high pitched tone. That was pretty cool. Now that's what we need to start doing.
Well,
get more into science for us, because that's what's going to help us out in the future for future generations of blind folks.
Well, I know in March here in San Antonio, a lot of artists get together, and there's this exhibit called The Color of Blind, and you have artists from all over. Most of them are blind artists, and one year I was actually in it, and they introduced me because I wrote a book. So, in fact, they took it was a book of poetry, and they took 2 or 3 of the poems and read them out loud. And it was pretty cool. It was a nice thing. And there were all types of tactile art, visual art, kinetic art, even electrical art. Mm-hmm. So yeah, it was really neat. And it went on for 3 days. So, a lot of people got to see what blind artists and others can do. And that's every March, every year.
Hell, I'm missing good fishing right now, but
oh Lord,
because of the hurricane. Catch me a good flounder or 2 or some drum, but too late. It's okay. I'll go Friday.
Yeah, they'll be in your backyard.
Yep. That actually happened in North Carolina a few years ago. After that, it was flooded so bad, it was catfish in people's backyard. That's how much flood water was there. All you had to do was just stick your hand in the water and just pick them up. I wish. But Tim, I'm kind of far from. I'm about 50 miles from Galveston, but the people in South Houston are going to get kind of messed up. We might get some street flooding and some high winds, but hell, this ain't my first rodeo, so I'm so used to this. It's like I might just sleep the whole hell. I might be in the garage smoking a cigar while the hurricane's there. I did it before.
I want to ask
I am a little crazy.
I want to ask everybody something. I'm hearing that they're telling anybody who's disabled that they should call your local police department and notify them that if there's a 911 call, that let them know that you're blind in your home. So if there's a call at your house, it would automatically come up on their screen so they know you live in that house. and they'll be looking for you. And if there's a fire, they're most likely to break down the door to come and get you out of the house.
I've heard of something like that. I never
Me too,
really
long
followed
time
up
ago.
with that. I never followed through with it.
Yeah.
No, they could set it up so that, because it's all computerized, and so when you call 911, your address and all the information pops up on their screen. They could just set it up so, like, I'm a blind resident, so I can call and have that added to that info. That would work well.
Well, I know they already have it in Oklahoma, because when I was there and I lost my vision, I was one that lost my vision later in life. But when they found out that I had lost my vision, both the fire department and the police marked it on their emergency units, because that way, whenever a call came in from my number, they knew immediately who I was. So that made it a lot easier.
It's if you have a landline too, Tim. If you
I don't.
you do?
What's a landline?
House phone.
Yeah, house
It's been
phone.
funny, Joanna.
I know.
Because your ping for your cell phone can move.
Yeah.
And they won't be able to mark that.
Okay.
Because your landline is attached to your address permanently.
It's attached to my wall too.
Right. If you have instructions up on your refrigerator, that's a good thing too. Like an emergency plan.
You can also, like, if you have, like, say you have a special medical situation, and you want your doctor's number, you could program him in your phone.
And your cell phone.
Yeah, and also one thing I've noticed about my phone, there's an app that's called, like, Health or something like that. You open it up, and in there you can put all kinds of great health information about yourself, like stuff that, like, first responders might need to know while you're unconscious.
Yeah, what they do is they pick your phone up and they touch your phone, and on the bottom it says emergency, and they tap on emergency, and it says, do you want to make a call or you need info? And if you hit info, all your medical stuff comes
Everything
up.
will be there.
Yeah.
So that if you're rushed to the hospital unconscious, it's there for them to know what medications and who to call.
But we need to go on our phones and find that area and make sure we put correct information in there.
Mm-hmm.
So
it's under the health app, I believe.
Yeah, I think so. Does anybody else have anything they'd like to add before I wrap up the show?
Nah, I'm good.
No, I think it was a good discussion tonight.
Hey, thanks, guys. This was great. My first time. And thank you, Kids Glove.
I wanted to thank Tim for joining us today. And I wanted to thank Kim for coming back again. And, of course, Joetta and Liana, I appreciate your guys' participation. Thank you for joining us today on Becca's World. We hope you enjoyed today's episode of The Blind View. Please like, share, and hit the subscribe button. Peace out.
Thank you for watching Becca's World. Please like, share, and subscribe to my channel.